Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's Empowered Women in Blockchains at SheFan Pro. I'm so delighted to have our fabulous first time guest speaker here with us today, the wonderful Phillip Runyan. It's an honor, Phillip, to have you here today. I'm really pleased because I know just how busy you are and you're doing some really amazing work. And I know where, time is so precious, isn't it, to everybody, but also to you as well. So I'm so pleased that in and amongst your busy schedule that you've managed to take a window of time to come and join us today and share a little bit more about the great work that you're doing and how others can become involved and everything else, because, it's absolutely amazing. So without further ado, Phillip, I'm going to hand right over to you and let you share, your background, what are you involved with at the moment? Make your introductions.
Sure. Thanks, Shel, for having me on. I really do appreciate it. And thank you for the work that you're doing over at SheFan Pro. I'm a big believer that rising tides raise all ships. And as you and I joked about the first time that we hopped on a call, I said this industry looks a lot like me. And if you've ever been to any of these industry events, just that really rings true. It's not just what you see on social media. It's not what you perceive in Twitter, but really, this is very much a male-driven area, and people like you, my good friend G. Molman, also who operates with the Women in DAO project. The more we can do to empower women and minorities to be able to enter this space in a safe manner, right? Not in a shark eat the minnow manner, but to be able to get your toe in the water, to kind of wade around a little bit, get comfortable with this space so that you can get your sea legs under you. For another water reference here, I will stop with those effectively now. But no, thank you again very much for everything that you guys are working on. I mean, it's incredibly important work, and I'm glad that I can be here today to help in any way, shape, or form that we can at NiftyCo. Which is a fantastic segue into NiftyCo and what it is that we're doing. So in a nutshell, NiftyCo is really a Web3 creator platform. We are building tools and services that lower the barrier to entry for people to be able to mint their own NFTs across multiple blockchains. And we also have some really cool proprietary technology, such as not just our cross-chain minting, but also our portfolio NFT service, which allows creators to be able to add more value to their NFTs by adding more content to it. I'm sure, as you've seen a lot in the NFT space, it's really driven, a lot right now by the art side of things. And I think we can all agree that we will use the term art very loosely here, but there's a lot of really fantastic art that does exist in this space. And it probably doesn't get the visibility that it deserves, whether you are a physical works artist that is using digital imagery to be able to sell your wares, or if you're a digital artist, or if you're a musician, if you're a poet, if you're a writer, right? And that's because in traditional media, we have the ability to really get to know the artist. We have an ability to kind of form that relationship with them. And a lot of that is kind of wrapped up in community in the world of Web3, right? We feel that our portfolio NFT service can kind of help expedite that. Instead of having to go months and months and months of trying to get people to understand who you are, as part of your NFTs, you can really leave a piece of yourself within that NFT, as opposed to just having what I like to call a single serving NFT, which is an image, an audio file, a video file, right? So in this particular example here, imagine being a musician and you're about to release a single. And the music world is hard, the art world is hard. Anything where your art and your trade like that are put on full display is incredibly difficult. And the more that we can do to build that personal relationship with the buyer or the listener or the community, the better. And that's really what we want to empower here. We want our artists, whether you're doing 10,000 profile pictures, or if you're doing one-off art like David Masters, who we've had a lot of great conversations with. He's had some works that have been purchased by Paris Hilton's partner. We want to empower these artists to move faster. And the way to be able to do that is through saying, hey, don't just have that single image, that single audio file. Add some more information about yourself. Add perhaps a certificate of authenticity. Add a video of you going through in creating the work, right? So getting back to my musician analogy here, a musician today, right now, they can open up a Discord, they can open up their MySpace account or whatever current social media they are participating in, and they can say, hey, here's an audio file, right? And then they open up their OpenSea account. They say, well, now here's an audio file that we created. It's our single, right? The problem though is that doesn't say a whole lot about the person, especially as far as the NFT is concerned. What if the NFTs could contain the artwork for that particular single? It could contain the single itself. If you made a music video for it, a live video of it, maybe the recording process of it, right? And a lot of things that I talk about on LinkedIn, linkedin.com / there's something in the middle, Phil Run, I think is what it is. My LinkedIn address. Please add me. What ends up happening though is I talk a lot about IP and the fact that in this space, a lot of people are either giving it away or not giving any of it away. And IP licensing is a very tricky thing, and it can't be summarized in 2 sentences or more. So we want to be able to empower these artists to easily get their hands on IP agreements so they can execute and add as part of those NFTs. So now you're not just a single serving NFT as a musician, right? You're not just saying, hey, go buy this single, and by the way, you get commercial rights to it, which has a giant question mark over it. We're saying, add that cover art, add the video, add the first acoustic version of it that you did before you went into a recording studio, right? Add all these, again, add a video of you talking to the person who's going to buy this about what was going on in your life when you did this, because now you're creating intimacy with these works, right? And that's really what we're talking about here. We always, harp and bang on community. That's what we're talking about. It's getting to know who it is that you're buying from. And by adding more detail, adding more content to these NFTs, again, as a single NFT, you're not buying 10 NFTs because there are 10 assets in there. We can wrap all those up into a single ERC 721. So that's what we're working on right now. And as part of that, we do also have some very interesting security features. Think of it as like a digital rights management that is tied back to the owners in order to minimize, if you as the owner, for instance, if you had a Monet on your wall, you can pick it up, you can look at the sides, you can look at the back, you get a bunch of extra documentation with it. You get more than what anybody else really knows about it. And that it creates intimacy. And we want to be able to protect that same intimacy with the portfolio NFTs that our customers mint, which is for video, we're able to limit the amount that can be viewed. For all the visual files, we put in lower resolution, lower quality versions that are watermarked. We want to make sure that if you're going to pay good money for something, you should have the absolute best version of it in its entirety, and nobody else should be able to say that they have the same thing, regardless of ownership. So that, in a very large nutshell, is what we're working on at NiftyCo.
Wow, that's fantastic. And I love, like you say there, Phil, about the intimacy that you create there as well. It's really unique, but it's so precious as well, isn't it? To be able to create that and experience that and own that, really. That it's just fabulous. So if people want to become involved in any way, or like you said, if they want to connect with you, you've given your LinkedIn ID there, but if people want to become involved in any way, what would you suggest?
I would suggest LinkedIn is a great tool for connecting. I can not recommend, especially if you want to get involved in the NFT space as a whole. You're going to find it a lot more accommodating and a lot more easy to talk to people than, say, Twitter, where if you've ever been on Twitter, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's a reason why the term crypto Twitter exists. But LinkedIn is really the complete opposite. So I cannot recommend enough that if you really want to take that, put a toe in the water, or if you're already up to your neck in it and you still aren't participating, on LinkedIn, please get involved there. Find me on there. My name is Phillip Runyan, Runyan. I believe my ID is Phil Run. I'm hoping that's it. If not, Phil Run, you're lucky for the new followers. And our web address is NiftyCo.io.
Perfect. That's excellent. Yeah. Thank you. Well, Phil, all I can say is a huge thank you for that. We've had a small segment of very precious time with you, and lots of valuable insights into what you're doing and how people can reach out and connect with you and become involved as well. And just so valuable, these precious moments. So thank you. And you know, I'm very proud to be connected with you myself, and here at SheFam Pro, we're very proud to be working with you in the way that we are at the moment. So yeah, just, you know, fabulous. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, very welcome. And please, everybody that's watching, all our viewers, please, you know, hit the like button on our YouTube channel. It's a new YouTube channel, but please do follow us and do subscribe. And yes, I'll look forward to seeing everybody again next time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.